Cynthia Erivo, My Possession. As reported by the Daily Mail, Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo are once again raising eyebrows with their red carpet interactions. The Wicked for Good co-stars have had multiple bizarre red carpet exchanges when promoting the first Wicked film, see Parts Passing, with yet another clip now resurfacing in the run-up to the second movie's release. The video, taken during their promotional tour of the first film, shows Erivo stopping an interview to adjust Grande's diamond necklace for a prolonged period of time. Many fans claimed there was nothing wrong with her necklace in the first place, and others called the interaction ridiculous. Erivo starts twisting the necklace. Grande says something is bothering her. She's going to fix something. I know her. I'm so sorry, Erivo says, claiming something is not right, as she continues fiddling with the necklace. She's getting the fixing itch that Cynthia Erivo gets, Grande says, as Erivo twists the necklace all the way around to show the clasp before turning it around again. Grande then says thank you, as Erivo continues to move the diamonds around. The interviewer then starts asking another question, and Grande laughs as an undeterred Erivo keeps trying to fix the necklace. Girl, okay, there was nothing wrong with her necklace to doing all that, one person on Reddit shared. She literally turned it the wrong way and back to where it was, just so she could be more involved in the interview. She actually messed it up, someone else claimed. It would be more authentic if she did this off camera, considering there was absolutely no reason to fix it, another added. Cynthia made the positioning of the necklace worse than before, and even then the necklace was fine. It was crazy how she fixed nothing, came a number of comments. Let's have a look at this interaction.
Even through this press tour, something's bothering her. She's going to fix something. I know.
Sorry.
She's getting the fixing itch that Cynthia Erivo gets.
It's not there.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, because the thing is...
Biggest pinch me moment for each of you on the set? Was it the day you arrived on the set or some special moment that happened during the filming of this for each of you? What was the biggest pinch me?
You witnessed there a number of narcissistic traits. The attention is on Ariana Grande, which is naturally wounding to Erivo. Therefore, it is necessary for her to take action to turn attention back on to her. Thus, she starts to fiddle with Grande's necklace. You also see a lack of boundary recognition on two fronts. First of all, interrupting the question and answer between the interviewer and Grande, and secondly, fiddling with the necklace that Grande is wearing. That is an invasion of her personal space. You also witness a further boundary intrusion because she starts talking whilst Grande is trying to answer the question. She starts to talk over what Grande is saying. She breaks the flow of the interview. And she's treating Grande as an object, something I will return to shortly. So there we have an example of various narcissistic traits of Erivo in the course of this interview. But there's more. It was also the case that an over-enthusiastic fan ran towards Grande, which prompted this reaction from Erivo. To those who are uninitiated in relation to the behaviour of a narcissist, this would look simply like Erivo being protective towards Grande, shielding her from a potential problem. It's simply an overly enthusiastic fan who ran towards the pair and jumped up and down. But of course, nobody was to know what his true intentions might have been. Accordingly, many people expressed the view that Erivo did a good thing in seeking to protect Ariana Grande. But understanding that Erivo is a narcissist, there is more to it than simple protection. Yes, she is shielding Grande, that much is true. But it's also the case that she is doing so on the basis of protecting her possession. Those that don't understand narcissism would simply think it's an act of kindness, but it's actually a territorial position from the narcissist, because the presence of the interloper threatens her control over Grande, and she immediately reacts with heated, ignited fury, placing herself between the interloper and Grande, actually physically apprehending the interloper, which is a boundary transgression, and then wrapping her arms around Grande and shielding her. There's also further of the clip, which I've not been able to find, where she stands with her arms wrapped around Grande for some time, which some people have suggested that was her grounding her, but is once again showing a possessory approach to Grande. We have another example of this behaviour in a shot that was taken from her and Grande on screen. What was witnessed there? Well, Erivo and Grande are on stage. I'm not sure who the man is, it's not entirely relevant. He's speaking, and to emphasise a point, he takes hold of Grande's left arm and waggles it rather enthusiastically. Grande's reaction is one where she doesn't appear to be displeased by it. After all, it's providing her with fuel. But because it's directed at Grande, Erivo is wounded, she's left out. And it's also the case that her narcissism subconsciously is telling her, you are playing with my possession, you're not allowed to do that. Hence, she awkwardly reaches all the way across Grande, lack of boundary recognition, takes her arm, lack of boundary recognition, and then acts as if she's almost going to kiss it better, as if the man's grasp is somehow seen as offensive, which of course it is subconsciously to Erivo, because it's as if he's touching her goods, that he's soiling the goods that belong to Erivo. And you can see in the reaction of Grande that she's a little bit perplexed at first as to why she's being touched, and then offers up her arm to Erivo before turning back and looking at the individual who is also on stage with them. But more narcissistic traits being exhibited by Erivo and more possessive behaviours. What then is going on in this strange dynamic between these two women? 3 instances of Cynthia Erivo demonstrating various narcissistic traits, as I have just described. And at the core of each piece of footage is the objectification of Ariana Grande and the treating of her in a possessive way. What is actually going on? Well, narcissists do not experience people as separate, autonomous beings with their own inner worlds. Instead, the narcissist relates to others the way most of you relate to appliances, objects that exist to serve a function, to be turned on when useful and ignored or disengaged from when they no longer perform satisfactorily. If you want to understand more about this, and I recommend you watch my video, You Are a Toaster, which in uncompromising terms allows you to understand precisely the way the narcissist regards you. You are to function for the needs of the narcissist. The narcissist is only interested in you to the extent that you serve a purpose to the narcissist with regard to your ability to be controlled, to provide fuel, character traits, and residual benefits. Nothing else about you matters. This perception of you as a possession of the narcissist and an object stems from the narcissist's core psychological makeup. Healthy adult relationships rest on object constancy and whole object relations, i.e., the ability to see someone as a complete person who has both good and bad qualities. and who continues to exist as a valued individual, even when you might be frustrated or angry with them. However, the narcissist view is one which is stuck in relation to object relations. The narcissist splits people into either all good or all bad fragments, the black and white thinking. A person is either an extension of us in the sense that they are useful to us, that they reflect glory back to us, or they are a threatening, worthless object which must be devalued and controlled, which also includes disengaging from you. There is no stable middle ground, whether another person is simply human. Owing to the fact that the narcissist has no emotional empathy, the narcissist is unable to comprehend the rich, independent emotional life of the other person. Without that emotional empathy bridge, people are essentially two-dimensional pops in the narcissist's internal world. A partner isn't a unique individual with dreams and fears. They are a mirroring device whose job it is to provide the narcissist with what they need vis-a-vis the prime aims. A friend is a status-enhancing object. A child is a trophy or a miniature self-object meant to fulfill the parent's unlived ambitions. When the appliance malfunctions, when it criticizes, sets boundaries, or simply has needs of its own, it is seen as a betrayal by the narcissist and not as a legitimate human limitation. The narcissist then feels justified in the response by way of devaluation, for instance, the application of heated ignited fury or cold ignited fury, and in some instances, this will be an outright replacement. This appliance-like perception and possessive approach to another person is reinforced by the regulation of the narcissist. The narcissist's sense of worth is not internally generated. It must be generated from the environment. It's extracted from the environment, i.e. people. People, therefore, are not ends in themselves, but means, sources of fuel, sources of character traits, sources of residual benefits. When those things are not provided, the person ceases to have intrinsic value. The narcissist won't ask, how's this person feeling? But subconsciously, how well is this person serving my needs right now? Relationships become transactional by necessity. The moment the cost-benefit ratio tilts, then the object risks disengagement. And this is done without guilt, because guilt requires recognizing the disengaged person's separate humanity, which the narcissist will never do. Individuals are tools to be used up and thrown away. The lack of remorse of the narcissist after exploitation is chilling to people, because to us, there was never a person there, only a malfunctioning device that failed to do what it was required of it. The narcissist will always see a person as an appliance, because in effect, the narcissism causes the narcissist to fail to see an other as a real separate subject. Where empathy and whole object relations should grow, there is simply a void. And into that void, the narcissist projects utility. People exist to serve the self, nothing more. It's cold, it's mechanical, but it's effective. And this is what you see with Cynthia Erivo, that in each instance that has been recorded, you are witnessing the fact that she doesn't see Ariana Grande as a separate person. She is subconsciously seeing her as a utility that is to be exploited for the purposes of enabling her to get what she needs. Fuel, character traits, residual benefits. It may come across as being protective. It may come across as cute although many people find the dynamic between the two individuals really strange. And that is because Cynthia Erivo treats Ariana Grande as an object, treats her as an appliance, her possession. She doesn't consciously regard her in that way. She thinks that she's just being kind, being sweet, being protective. But knowing that Erivo is a narcissist, one understands that she regards all people as appliances, and Ariana Grande is quite possibly a non-intimate partner primary source, given the amount of time they spend together when they're engaging in promotional activity. There's no suggestion of intimacy between the two, although we don't know for certain. But given the fact that there is no evidence to demonstrate that, we maintain that it is a non-intimate relationship. But the level of reliance that exists between the two would mean that they are likely to be non-intimate partner primary sources in both fuel matrices, but with Erivo demonstrating more dominant behaviours in the dynamic between the two of them. Accordingly, the prodding and holding and touching and interjecting that Erivo engages in is all part of her utilising Ariana Grande as an object. She sees her subconsciously as a possession for the reasons that I've just explained. And that's why you see the behaviour. Grande is content to allow her to do it because she has adopted a submissive position in the relationship. Because she has made that decision herself, it still affords her a sense of control. And of course, the actions of Erivo, fiddling with her necklace, shielding her from the interloper, taking her arm after the gentleman on stage had been waggling it around, all of that provides fuel to Ariana Grande. So there is a cementation between these two narcissists in relation to this behaviour, with Erivo adopting a more dominant one, which makes you see more of the way that she treats Grande as an object. I'm HG Tudor. Thank you for watching.